The red flag of the week comes from this lovely lady who is teaching us quite a few lessons in this video. So let's watch.
So, hot take: coffee dates, ice cream dates, drink dates, etc. are low effort. Okay. I had this man ask me on a date tonight, and he said, "Oh, let's go for drinks. I would love to take you out." And I told him, respectfully, no, I only do dinner dates. He was like, "Oh, I don't do dinner dates on the first date." Blocked.
Good man. Good man. And you are so lucky that you got blocked by her because you saved yourself so much time and money, obviously, and just frustration, most likely, if you haven't dealt with women like this. Like, but I guess who hasn't at this point? Because the first date, he's absolutely right, should have a budget of no more than $10. That's right. Normal enough for a drink, coffee, or just a drink at the lounge. And the funny thing is, the reason for that is written right there on her video. She actually got it right. She says that the drink dates is a way for men to assess a woman's worthiness before committing to spending money on a real date. Absolutely correct. If a woman requires you to give her money to compensate her for her company to show up, we have a word for that. It kind of escapes me right now, but I think it rhymes with prostitute. I'm sure it will come back to me. But let's continue watching this wonderful video.
I'm not about to play with y'all, okay? These men, we need to, as women, we need to stop letting these men get away with low effort dates and literally doing the bare minimum, okay? Because, first of all, why are you trying to get me impaired on the first date? Or why are you trying to get impaired around me on the first date? I'm uncomfortable. Absolutely not.
All right, that's a very odd take on it. Not so much hot, but just odd take on it. No one is trying to get you impaired or himself impaired. Having a drink, by the way, coffee will not get you impaired. But even if you go in for an alcoholic drink, don't have five, just one. That's just a day. And the reason we do that is not to get you impaired, is to get you less boring. I mean, let's face it, most women are fucking boring at first, second, or third date. So if that can inject even a little bit of personality, which you can see she doesn't have, we want that. We're willing to pay for that because we want these dates to also be fun for us, not just, making sure that we're guarding our wallet. Um, Now, she also mentioned the low effort. Here's the thing, it's the low effort in terms of investment, right? But it's still a fucking same effort that she's putting into it. It's kind of weird how they want men to put more effort than they're putting in, right? You still have to dress up. You still have to make sure you look good. You still have to show up. By the way, the $10 are $10. You're still paying for her drink at the same time, right? You're taking money out of your schedule. By the way, the type of a man she's looking for is a high value man, I'm assuming. I mean, she's not going to get one, but high value men value their time. So when you're taking your time out of your schedule versus her taking time out of her schedule, your time is so much more valuable. You're losing so much more money than she would be. Then that's the effort that you're putting in. It's kind of weird that unless you bring a pile of cash with them, that's called low effort, even though they're putting the same effort together. And I know they're going to say, oh, we're doing makeup in here. Bullshit. You already should be in makeup and have your hair done by the end of the day anyway. So, yeah, freshen up a little bit, put something nice on. But like I said, that's nowhere near the cost of the time we're losing by trying to figure out, is this girl just like the rest of them and a huge waste of my time, or I can actually deal with her and invite her on a second date, maybe for dinner.
Dinner is great. You can have drinks at dinner. I don't, you know, that's
Wow. So wait a second. So it's okay to get impaired while an expensive dinner is being served, but not the female logic, right?
100% a non negotiable for me. As soon as you're saying that you're not taking me to dinner, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not trying to convince you. It's dead. You're blocked.
Yeah, but like I said, I wasn't kidding. Being blocked by these women or ghosted or whatever, I know a lot of guys get really kind of down on themselves. Oh, I gotta, you know what I mean? Don't. This girl was gonna waste so much of your money and time. Obviously, she's a gold digger. Like it is just not something that you would end up in a good place with. So the fact that she just saved you all this time and money is a blessing.
Goodbye. The only time I would slightly understand drinks, you know, like a coffee date, salad date, ice cream date, etc., is if he's like a millionaire, billionaire. Okay.
Oh, so you are a prostitute. Oh, look, the word came back to me. It is. I mean, I called it, right. I called it from the very beginning, and it's not like it's a brain surgery. It's not a brain a rocket science, right? These women, and I submit to you that modern women nowadays are all some sort of a prostitute, because they all require you to bring them some money, and usually sooner rather than later. Now, don't get me wrong. It is okay to be a provider, right? Once you decided the girl is worth your time, yeah, you can take her out on a dinner. It shouldn't be an expensive dinner. It should be just a regular dinner, right? And then more and more, and if, of course, if you decide to move in together and you're really considering this as a possible relationship or marriage, then yeah, you should be a provider. But bringing this tons and tons of cash to the first date, or sometimes even before the first date, well, again, it's just you hiring a prostitute. And if you are already doing that, there are such better ways to do it, where you spend less money and time and get much more for it. So you're just making a bad financial decision on top of that, if you go out with women like this.
Trillionaire. Like, unless you're up there, but the men that are doing this are regular men, anyways. You get what I'm saying? It's regular men who don't want to spend the money on you.
You, not even a regular woman. I looked at her profile. She's overweight, right? And I'm assuming she's in her 30s, so her value is not very high pretty much anywhere in the world. So I don't understand why she thinks that somehow she deserves a guy who's up here. No billionaire or trillionaire is looking at you. By the way, there's no such thing as a trillionaire, by the way. The billionaire is the highest level of uh you know forget about it. I'm sorry. I'm explaining math to her now. My bad.
Right? They want to feel like you have to convince them on that first date
You do have to convince us on the first date to get a second one. Otherwise, buy your own fucking dinner. You know what I mean?
why they should take you out to a dinner, spend $200. Maybe if I
No,
take
no, 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 no. $200. That's an anniversary dinner for most people. If that, even for anniversary dinner, some guys would not spend $200 if they're earning, a modest salary, and it's just a waste of family's money, especially if they have kids and so forth. But no, $200 dinner. What kind of loser takes the girl out to the $200 dinner as a first date? I mean, you have to be a loser to do that.
take myself out to $200 dates by myself and I treat myself all the time,
Well, you're gonna treat yourself tonight because you declined a drink date from a man, and you're sitting by yourself in your apartment, making a video where you shit on men. Doesn't seem like a good night. But go ahead and take yourself out for a $200 dinner. I mean, I don't think she has $200 for dinner specifically. So all of that is really bullshit anyway. She's gonna have boxed wine and frozen dinner, or maybe McDonald's. Again, judging by her figure.
why would you think you're gonna come in and take me to no rinky dinky ass, like cheap ass type of drink date? No. And I get it. I feel like as women, a lot of us think of short commitment dates such as drinks, coffee, etc., as a way for you to leave if things are uncomfortable or
For us too. Actually, the reason I started doing drinks dates even back in the day in America is specifically for that. I would meet a girl and she would either be boring, or a lot of times you girls don't look the same way in person. I mean, she's even in this fucking video, she's using a filter, as you can see. She doesn't look this way. That's a filter, right? And a lot of times, you guys know, when you look at the dating apps or Instagram profiles, all these women is already, she's already got makeup on top of that, she also has a filter. She looks nothing like this in real life. And yes, we'd like to run the fuck away from women who don't look the same and who look twice their size when they show up on on dates. So to us, it's the same thing. We don't want to be trapped with this disaster. And again, more men should walk away from the dates right away. I see more and more videos now of women who are saying, oh my god, I went on a date and the man saw me and left right away. Kudos to those men. Don't waste your time on women who don't look the same in person or all of a sudden have attitude in person when you meet them. Kudos to those men.
or like a quick exit, right? However, that's not how men view things. They're not coming from a safety standpoint. They're trying to get turned, trying to get you turned, and also looking at it financially. Like, I'm not going to spend all that money on this girl.
Yeah, we are looking at it financially. That's why a lot of us have money, is because we don't waste them. Guys who waste money are never have the money, right? But those of us who do have money, it's because we don't waste it. And one of the main, blood draining ways to be financially drained is to spend money on women who haven't earned it yet, which means definitely spending $200 on dinner on a first date. You literally, even if you're a loser and you just don't get women and you're like, okay, well, this is the only way I can meet a girl for dinner. I'm sorry, these $200 will go a long way if you hire other services, if you know what I mean. Honestly, it's just a bad money management if you go out on a date with a girl like that for $200. Even if you get laid, by the way, at the end of it, which you absolutely are not by obviously her demeanor. And again, I don't think a lot of guys would be attracted to her if you actually saw the rest of her.
Thinking that dinner is that much of an investment is problematic and toxic. I don't deal with it.
I love where whenever women have to be held responsible for their actions or words or prove their worthiness to a man, they put a word toxic in front of it, right? Like toxic masculinity, toxic relationship. My boyfriend was toxic, right? As if you hear a girl say one of those keywords, right, toxic or narcissist, the funny thing is that, and I just saw an article about this, usually it's the narcissists that call other people narcissists because the other people are not willing to deal with their narcissistic behavior. A lot of people call other people toxic is because those are normal people who just don't like toxic people like this person, right? So it's called gaslighting and hypocrisy. Kind of, if gaslighting and hypocrisy had a baby, that's what this would look and sound like, as you just witnessed.
And I'm not going to argue about it. Blocked. These men are so complacent doing the bare minimum, and if you allow a man to do the bare minimum once, baby, he gonna keep doing it. That's what I've learned.
Well, you probably have learned that because you pick the shittiest man and the most desperate ones that are willing to pay you for your presence on the first date. So that's why you have this experience. If you actually would have dated a high value man, like it sounds like the guy who you blocked tonight and now sitting at home by herself in front of a camera, he could have provided. And yet, okay, you blocked him. He is probably out with another girl, right? And most likely having sex as you're recording this video. That happens to me all the time. But I mean, I live in Bangkok, so here I have had dates where a girl would either like cancel last second because she didn't want to drive too far, or whatever, or with this type of attitude. And within an hour, I had a girl in my bed. And I'm sure that guy who invited you on a drink date and stood his ground saying, no, I'm not taking your ass out for dinner. I don't do that. And by the way, if you wouldn't have blocked him, he would have probably blocked you. So it worked out for everybody.
That low effort shit is not flying with me at all.
Well, it will start flying with you once you hit your 40s or late 30s, which is really not far off, I think. You see younger women make this type of videos, right? And then the women, same exact women, right? That have aged and now in their late 30s and 40s make the other type of videos that I feature on this channel, right? Saying like, oh, I feel so lonely with my cat or two or three, right? Or my dog. And, I wish I wouldn't have spent time doing this stupid shit and having these weird standards and not realize what a good man is or spend all this time on my career or whatever, right? So this girl is only about 10 years away from singing a very different tune, from essentially saying, anybody wants to take me out on a coffee date? Anybody? Oh, no? Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll adopt another cat. So this is just the classics. But guys, let me end with this, and this is very important, is that the reason women like this have this attitude is because there are plenty of dudes who actually do take them out for dinner dates on the first time and spend the money and then get ghosted because, you know, she's only after a free dinner. It's not even, I mean, she's not even hiding it, right? Or she's just after someone who will spend more and more money on her over time. And like I said, that's just subscription prostitution. Do you really want to hire? I mean, you know, it's just, it makes no sense for you guys. But a lot of men actually do that, and that's what's fueling this. So I imagine every man telling her, "Well, I don't fucking do dinner dates." You think she would be? Do you think she would have this fucking attitude? No. The reason she has it is that a lot of you guys are still simping and taking these women out for dinners and even give them flowers on a first date. Pathetic and counterintuitive.
If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.